What's your flavor if teams knocking on your door and saying, Kurt, we're not taking a first-round quarterback. We just can't. We got too many other holes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But Friday night, we're really in the quarterback game. And we're saying, like, hey, all things being equal, you choose who?
Well, again, I mean, I have Shedeur number 2.
Yes.
So I think just in an overall general perspective, I would probably say him. But the other thing that's always a caveat for me is, I don't get to get in a room with these guys.
Right, sure.
Because that to me is the most important thing.
You
is
mean a grease
tell
board,
me,
that sort of stuff?
Well, just tell me why. Take me into the tape. Tell me what you were thinking, what you saw. If I draw this play on the board, what's your mindset right off the bat? I want these guys to think fast and process fast. And that's what I don't get a chance to do. And so that's always a disappointing part because I only go off of what's on tape. And then off of tape, now you have to look at college football and how it's built, the number of screens that you throw, the number of RPOs. So which team is drafting these guys? Because that would be another question for me. Is
fit is understood, but this is not nuanced.
No,
I need an answer.
Well, I mean, again, because Shedeur is number 2 on my board, that's probably where I'm going.
So let's take him out of the mix. He's gone.
Okay.
So who's next? You got Dart, or you got, everyone. People talk about Milroe with a huge ceiling. The analogy I heard was lottery ticket when you draft him.
Yeah, I mean.
So I don't know.
Again, with him is that first thing I'll say is his throwing ability in certain games that you watched is better than I think people give him credit for. And so I think that's a huge upside to go along with the playmaking. But his technique too often created missed throws for me. So that would be a hard one for me.
Okay.
If I was expecting this guy to play within the next year or two, it would be hard for me to go that route. I think it's either Jaxson Dart or Tyler Shough would be those two guys. And Shough intrigues me because I love his feet. I think he's got a live arm. He's got, a lot of traits that I really, really like.
And I noticed at the combine when he was done, our cameras caught you and Shough chopping it up. What was he picking your brain about? If you don't
I was talking to him just a little bit about technique because there were some throws that got away from him with technique.
Footwork
stuff.
Okay.
Finishing throws. There were times that he lets his feet get away from the throw because he's talented, but it also costs him a lot. So we were just talking about some of those things of instead of worrying about impressing somebody because I can throw off balance or I can throw with my feet going this direction, make every throw by working to get your feet in the right direction, in the right position to throw. And so, we've had a little bit of conversation since the combine on some different things that I saw when I was watching tape. So I like both of those guys, and I think it would really come down to I want to sit in a room with them. I want to pick their brain, see what kind of football people they were to separate them. But those would be my next two that are in the mix.
What about McCord and Howard, the 2 Ohio State guys in succession here?
I mean, Kyle McCord, I really like. Again, I think the caveat with him is he threw more than anybody in college football, so there's going to be more mistakes. There's going to be, more turnovers for a guy like that. But I thought in what I call intermediate throws, so like 10 to 20 to 25 yards, I thought he was the best thrower in this class at continually making those intermediate type throws. And so he was asked to carry a team. He was asked to throw every time out. Really like him. I wonder the physical upside, the throws down the field when he's, off platform. Can he create those kind of throws at the next level? And then Will, I watched Will play at K-State with my son Cade for a couple years, where I thought a project as a thrower. Then he goes to Ohio State, was forced to be more of a thrower there. I thought he made great strides. So I still think there's room for him to grow. My biggest thing with Will is I'm just not sure he's a natural thrower. There's some guys where it's just easy and natural. Other guys are trying to, create those throws. And that's my question with Will is he that natural thrower, which is what I'm going to always want at the quarterback position, where it's just fluid and it's just normal and they make the throws that they're supposed to make every time. And he didn't always do that.
And then there's another guy. I mean, we just mentioned the 2 guys who followed C.J. Stroud in Columbus, and the guy who was with C.J. Stroud in Columbus, and Quinn Ewers coming out of Texas. He's there, too. What's your evaluation?
Well, and there's the flip side. Talk about a natural thrower, a gifted thrower of the football. throws with great touch. Sometimes people go, it's too much touch. I don't think that's a thing as long as the ball gets there. So there was a lot of really, really good things that I liked about Quinn Ewers, which I wasn't sure when I went into the tape what I would see. Really liked a lot of the stuff. Because he's a gifted thrower, his technique would get away, and that would cost him at times. But I think he is one of those guys that somebody's going to take a chance on because of the physical ability. And if he can clean up, some of the things, technique-wise, I think he's got a chance.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.